All right. So let's kick off with our video.
As an entertainer, a businesswoman, and especially as a mother, I really love it when we're allowed to be out and together.
As an actor and director, I've always been a collaborative person.
I'm constantly inspired being around people and feeling their energy live, but that's been hard during COVID.
We all want to get back to enjoying restaurants, stores, hotels, stadiums, and feel safer in the places we love.
How can we feel more confident that the schools, child care centers, offices, and banks that we go to
are working to keep us safe?
Look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal.
I'm Dr. Richard Carmona, the 17th Surgeon General of the United States of America. This is the WELL Health Safety Seal from the International Well Building Institute, the global authority on healthy buildings.
When you see the WELL Health Safety Seal,
it means that your health and safety are top of mind when it comes to
cleaning and sanitizing procedures,
air and water quality management,
emergency preparedness programs,
and health services.
It means when you see the seal on the outside,
we can feel more confident going inside.
Because feeling safe should be a right for all, not a privilege for some.
So look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal. Learn more about the WELL Health Safety rating at wellhealthsafety.com.
Welcome to our WELL community kickoff engagement with Copiana and the International Well Building Institute. This is the first of what we hope are many engagements where we strive to build community and strive to share information and strive to make this a better city and a better world and place and make it better for our future generations. Good afternoon. My name is Akiya Sims, and I am a sustainability professional. I'm also a risk, resilience, and all things well, happy family, happy community person. I am here today to kick off this wonderful engagement, and I'm so thankful that you guys have joined us. Today we have a really good lineup for you. I'd like for you to take a moment to meet our speakers. We have Jackie Greene. She's the Vice President of Business Development at Copiana. We have, hi Jackie. We have Jim. He's the CEO of Copiana. Hey Jim. And one thing you'll notice is that this is going to be more of an activity, a chat, a get involved, a public service. So we want everyone to be engaged, to get into the chat room and ask questions and get involved. As you see, Akiya Sims, my day job, I am a sustainability, risk and resilience practitioner and officer at the City of Atlanta Department of Aviation. I'm here from Dallas, Texas. I'm a Texan, and so happy to be here in Georgia. And last but not least, we have Angela Spangler. She's a director at the IWBI. And additionally, we have other team and happy people here from Copiana to share some love with you guys. So without further ado, let's kick this thing off. Hi, Jim.
Hello, Akiya. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. We look forward to hearing a little bit from you, and you could tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you are a very busy father of 6, and you are an agriculturist and a designer, and all things great ideas when it comes to bringing us Copiana. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Well, thank you so much. It's always great to see your smiling face, and I'm really happy to be here today with everybody. I just wanted to take a few minutes just to share with you a little bit about how Copiana got started. I first moved to Atlanta when I was 9 years old, and that was just a couple of years ago. And when I did, I one of the things that I remember was on Peachtree Street, there was a sign that had the population for the city of Atlanta. And I remember when it turned to 1 million people, and it was a huge deal. The city had a big celebration and this, that, and the other. Interestingly enough, that sign today, if you go look at it, is still there. And today it says somewhere around 6.5 million people. So,
Oh, wow.
I mean, the rate of growth in just, let's call it 20 years, is pretty amazing. So, the other things I recall from that time period, I grew up on Roswell Road, and right down the street from that busy road, there were farms, there were horse farms, all kinds of different things. Today, on those very spots, there are houses and shopping centers and other things. And I've always been, involved with the land as a landscape architecture. I've had my landscape company in the city for over 30 years and, deal with a lot of commercial properties, but I always felt like there was a great opportunity for urban agriculture to kind of bring that back to the city, to get people around it, to be able to touch it and feel it and understand, how that works. And so, I was really looking into that, but traditional farming methods just didn't work. There's not the land, there's not the space, there's not the ability to do it. So ultimately, as I was researching, I discovered this technology, this aeroponic technology that I thought would be really interesting. But also during that research time, I also discovered the concept of food deserts and food insecurity. It was not something I was aware of. And the fact that so many people struggle to have access to good quality food. So when I discovered this and began to research it more and more, those two things blended up so well, the need to try to bring agriculture back to the city and to try to help to mitigate some of these food insecurity issues. Yes. For those of you here in Atlanta, it might surprise you to know that south of I-20, there are only 3 full-service grocery stores. It's hard to believe, but it's a real issue. So as I began to research this technology and worked with it, I realized it was a great opportunity to bring that into urban spaces and to be able to farm there and to be able to kind of work with folks and help them through the food security issues and so forth. So Copiana was born, and we started that in 2018. And I love the idea of having fun while you're also doing good, and being able to put these farms out on the properties. One of the things that I didn't anticipate right away, but it has certainly happened, is that all the farms we have around the city, their favorite day of the month is Harvest Day. Yes. We get large crowds, large people that come in, and we help them really understand that, as we've gone through this pandemic, so many people have finally realized that their food doesn't come from the grocery store, that it actually comes from a farm. And so we've been able to get people close to that and been able to help them. And at the same time, been able to help a lot during this pandemic with the City of Refuge. We're doing monthly donations with them to try to help mitigate some of those issues. So it was a great opportunity to try to marry those things together. I'm very proud of it, and very proud of being able to work with the Well Institute as well, and trying to help folks understand how they can create healthier spaces, and looking forward to being a part of that.
Thank you so much, Jim. And one thing I was thinking about is that with more interest being put into corporate social responsibility and ESG measures and the financial aspects of how to capture sustainability efforts and tell the business case as well. And one thing, if you could shed some light on, is whether or not you see the importance of being part of a logistics supply chain that brings value at every aspect, and the importance of a sustainability management plan.
Without a doubt. And I know personally that's been an important thing for me, but I think each one of us has learned, certainly during this past year, that things can be fragile, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of everything that we have, and that we're working together as a community, and really looking for ways to help each other. And so that's going to be a big portion of what it is that we do.
For us to be able to not only tell the human and the social case, but also the business case, because it's all there.
No question.
It's all there. Well, thank you so much, Jim. And anybody has any questions or want to know more about Jim, just hit him up in the chat session. And if you have any further questions, we'll also have his contact information for you at the end of the show. So thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
And next we are going to have a quick quiz questions. So they always say, what you don't measure, you can't impact, or you can't change, or you can't affect. So our first question is asking you, do you have amenities dedicated to wellness on your property? And, think high and low. Think of some very simple things that you may do and you do well, and also think of some things that you maybe think that you don't do or you would like to do. And also, does your well property already have well certification, and you're just looking to be a part of the community that we're building here? Feel free to answer these questions, and we're looking forward to your feedback.
Also, please put what amenities you have on your properties in the chat. We'd love to see it.
Thanks, Claire. So let's move right along to our next presenter. And we will have Angela. And Angela's going to tell us, what the heck is well? What is well? What is this everyone's talking about? We all need to know about what's going to make us better, stand out, have competitive advantage, and just be good at it. So Angela, we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Thank you, Akiya. It's so nice to be here with everyone today. I've been with the International Well Building Institute for almost 3 years now, and holy cow, what a ride it has been. Today, I'm going to give you kind of a quick crash course in what it means to have a healthy building, talk through some of our latest programs, and preview what you might have caught in the beginning of our session, the latest health safety rating that was developed in light of the COVID pandemic. So one thing that I just want to make really clear at the outset is our organization is created with one sole aim to create healthier environments where people are spending their time. When we're talking about healthy spaces, we're talking about the complete definition of health. So the way that the World Health Organization defines health is complete mental, physical, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So thinking about how all aspects of the design of the world around you are influencing things like your social connections with others, your own mental health, or your physical health and well-being. WELL has always been an evidence-based and performance-verified optional building certification, and it's grounded in research. That research is coming through things like emerging trends in the public health sector, like applied research from our WELL projects, which I'll share some insights and key takeaways momentarily. But we're really looking at understanding performance through multiple different lenses. The performance of your building. So is it energy efficient? Is it high performing? What types of design interventions are really improving the overall quality of the space? The performance of the human occupant. Are people showing up to work feeling more rested, more rejuvenated, essentially better when they're leaving than when they show up? And then ultimately the success and the performance of the business. What is the return on investment when you start to think about the human occupant first and start really leaning into these principles of human-centered design? So I'll take you through kind of the brief history of WELL from a very high level. We were introduced in 2014 with a commercial building certification. Over the years, we've introduced a number of pilot programs that expand the certification to entire neighborhoods and district scale interventions with the WELL community standard, entire organizational commitments through the WELL portfolio program. And just last year, we launched and graduated our second version of WELL V2, which was introduced originally back in 2018, into the standard, as well as introducing new products like the health safety rating. On this slide, you can kind of see how each of our offerings relates to one another. The health safety rating, which I'll explain today, is a subset of WELL features that are found in the WELL version 2 standard. And it's applied to really the design and the operations of a space, the operations and maintenance of a space rather, in response to COVID-19 and other types of infectious disease. The WELL certification is kind of the gold star when it comes to any third-party health-focused building rating or building certification program. And the WELL portfolio approach is the most comprehensive way to work through the features that you'll find within WELL version 2 and apply them kind of systematically at scale to a collections of buildings at an organizational scale. One thing that's important to note is that WELL has always been a really holistic approach. So we're looking at strategies that buildings can do to support health and well-being, so actual design interventions, as well as things that an organization can do from a policy perspective to influence positive health outcomes. We're also really interested in the ongoing maintenance and operations of buildings. So it's great to create a healthy environment and to go through testing and to ensure that things are really designed and performing as intended. But that's something that we're going to want to check in on over time to make sure that buildings continue to remain high performing and that people are continuing to show up to healthier environments. On this slide, you can see the breakdown of all of the features within the WELL version 2 standard. Half of them are performance verified on site. So we set thresholds for things like how clean the air needs to be, how clean the water needs to be, the appropriate light levels that will help influence both your sleep and wake cycle so that you're feeling rested at night and kind of energized during the day. We set the standard for the temperature that a space needs to be to promote human comfort and human performance, as well as certain acoustic parameters so that people can focus and really get the job done at hand. The other concept areas start to introduce more behavioral types of interventions. I will preview for you some of the features within the nourishment concept today and talk through some of my favorite features within this category. One of the things that's most personal about WELL, I think, is the nourishment concept, because food is such a celebration, such a culture, it's such a personal journey. So in WELL, we're really trying to promote healthy behaviors and make the healthiest choice the easiest choice. So by introducing many fruits and vegetables, having transparency about where your food is coming from, having things easily accessible and appropriately labeled and portioned, all of this helps to guide healthier consumption and healthier human behaviors. You can explore all of the WELL strategies, we call them features, on our website, wellcertified.com. And I also wanted to introduce to you the research digests that actually just launched on Monday. Each and every one of these digests talks about the specific research behind why the strategies in WELL are so important. So one of my other favorite concepts within the nourishment, or one of my other favorite features, excuse me, within the nourishment concept talks about the importance of having a space away from your workplace where you can gather, where you can eat, where you can appreciate the fresh local foods that are being provided on site, to really have a moment to disconnect from the work that you're doing and start to build stronger ties and stronger relationships with the people that you work with. The reason that this is one of my favorite features within WELL is because the evidence shows when you eat in front of a screen, whether it's your computer screen or your cell phone or a television, you're more likely to overeat and report feeling less satisfied with the food that you're eating. So it's just a healthier behavior in general to just get up, take a mental health break, get away from the work that you're doing, make a new connection, and enjoy fresh, local, healthy foods with people in your office. So one of the really exciting parts of my role is tracking the growth and the momentum of the well building standard over time. And we really track this in terms of numbers of projects, total square footage, the number of countries that we're in. You can tell by the name of the organization, the International Well Building Institute, that this is a standard that's applied around the world. When I joined the organization about 3 years ago, we had not yet hit 1,000 projects. We were nowhere near 100 million square feet, and I believe we had projects in about 27 countries around the world. And then you fast forward, 2.5 years, and we're almost here. And then the COVID pandemic hits, and now people are really starting to tune in to just how important their spaces are. For all of the reasons that we've mentioned before, we've seen an uptick in well registrations in the likes of 1 million to 2 million square feet a day. All over the world. When you look at the Fortune 500s, we've got about 20% of Fortune 500s who are pursuing well for either a headquarter location or at the portfolio scale. And when you drill down and look at some kind of local project examples, I would encourage you all to check out our project directory on Well Online to see where the nearest well project that you could visit someday might be. In the Atlanta area, these are the first 3 to achieve certification so far. There are about 200 projects that are registered for certification right now. So we're really hoping that, as this trend continues and as people are tuning in to how important their spaces are, you'll start to see many more well certification marks, and hopefully in the future, many more health safety rating seals, which I'll explain here momentarily. So being a research-driven certification, we wouldn't trust our work unless we went back and studied the impacts of what a well-certified space can actually do for your employees. So some of our favorite case studies and some of my favorite case studies to talk about come from the World Green Building Council report. This report gets published every 2 to 4 years, and they do in-depth case studies on both well-certified spaces as well as LEED certified spaces. Those of you on the line who might be familiar, LEED is a certification that's focused on planetary health, and WELL comes in and kind of shifts that focus to be more focused on human health. So many of our projects actually pursue both LEED and WELL. ASID saw really great results when they moved into their WELL Platinum certified office. They saw reductions to absenteeism, reductions to presenteeism. So people were showing up more often and being more present when they were in the office. And that, of course, contributes to overall productivity and the return on investment for the organization. We've also tracked things like a reduction in sick days, a reduction in turnover, increases in productivity. All of these types of things are self-reported, and you can see those examples from London with both Cundall and Landsec's offices. ULI is another third party that often analyzes the success of high-performing buildings, healthy certified buildings, LEED certified buildings. And so a lot of the report outs here look at different applications of WELL across different sectors. So you'll see what this does when you start applying WELL to multifamily residential spaces, how that impacts leasing rates and how that impacts market rents available that multifamily developers are able to charge for healthier living environments. I think we're seeing an increase in the application of well to multifamily residential since we have all been spending so much time at home. So these resources are also free. I would encourage you to kind of dive in and look through the case studies and glean additional lessons learned from some of these well projects. I'm going to shift gears quickly here and talk about some of the importance in how we responded to the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic really stressed the importance of not only looking at environmental sustainability, but looking at human health outcomes. So blending the environmental health with health equity and merging the impacts of things like chronic disease with infectious disease. So we created a task force ultimately that looked through the well building standard and came up with another free resource, which I've linked to here, the strategies from the well building standard to help support in the fight against COVID-19. And the framework that we really followed was looking at things like prevention and preparedness, as well as resilience and recovery. This document organizes the features within WELL across these 8 key themes that are really dedicated to things like promoting clean contact, because we know how important that is when we're in the middle of a health pandemic, improving air and water quality, supporting people from a mental health perspective, as well as just having features in place that support and strengthen their immune system, and then really understanding how to champion community resilience and recovery. So I certainly don't have time to dig into the nitty-gritty here. I want to shift gears and tell you all about the latest rating and the latest offering that we're seeing many organizations pursue these days. I mentioned the metric of 1 to 2 million square feet a day for WELL certification. We've seen about 100 million square feet register per month for the health safety rating. And some of the leading and most iconic buildings.
Hold on 1 second. How can we rewind? How many square feet?
100 million square feet per month.
That's equity, that's value, that's health, that's really thinking about people. Okay, I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but we had to call that one out.
Thank you, Akiya. Yes, so this rating was introduced at the end of July. Many of our clients who I've previewed on the previous slides were really asking us for like a COVID-free sticker. And we all know that you can't do that. That's not the way that this works. But what we can do is we can create a rating that will act as a third-party verification that what you're doing from a cleaning and sanitization perspective, what you're doing from an operational and policy perspective have been evidence-based and vetted by a third party. So I mentioned that task force. We pulled together information from the leading virologists, epidemiologists, public health officials, building scientists, academics.
I'm on the task force.
Thank you so much.
Regular people like me, I'm on the task force.
Right. And so we pulled together all of this expertise as well as guidelines from the CDC and the WHO and ASHRAE and other standard setting organizations to come up with a list of recommended strategies that will actually make a meaningful difference right now. So the way that the health safety rating works is it's organized, the strategies and features are organized into these 5 key buckets. They are organized around cleaning and sanitization, emergency preparedness, health services, resources, air and water quality management, as well as stakeholder engagement and communication. And again, I feel like I don't have time to necessarily dig into the nitty-gritty details. I'm certainly happy to answer questions as they come in. But this standard is freely available to explore online. The way that the rating works is you would pick 15 of the 22 features, show your documentation of how you're upholding and meeting that criteria, get that reviewed by GBCI, and then proudly display the Well Health Safety Rating seal on your business or company or whatever's front door. This seal has a QR code, as you can see on the slide right now, where the general public can walk by, scan that code, and immediately understand what it means to be a health safety rated building, what types of strategies that you're implementing, and they'll feel more confident essentially returning to the workplace or returning to this retail space or this school or this stadium or whatever buildings are pursuing this rating. This is something that can be achieved by all sorts of organizations. These were some of the earliest adopting brands who pursued that health safety rating. The Empire State Building, Yankee Stadium, these were huge, iconic buildings that achieved the rating relatively quickly. Within the organization, I focus a lot on the education sector, the healthcare sector, and the government sector. So I've been really proud of entire school districts who are signing up and getting excited. Fairfax County Public School is I believe, the 12th largest school district in the US, and they've enrolled their entire portfolio. I just got off the phone with a charter school district in Georgia this morning who saw our health safety rating commercial last night and is going to move forward and pursue this rating for their school district. So you're going to start to see this rating show up an awful lot more. And I just wanted to let you know basically what it means. When you start any well project, whether it's the pursuit of the health safety rating, whether it's pursuit of certification, whether it's involvement in our portfolio program where you're looking at this across your entire real estate portfolio, you always have coaching support from our well team. So when you start with health safety rating, you get access to sample documentation, to templates, to sample letters of assurance, to all the resources you really need to assess what is it that you're doing right now, that you're already doing well, that you're hoping to have a third party come on site and validate or verify through this documentation review, so that you can proudly display that seal and bring people safely back to your organizations.
Angela,
So,
if I may jump in real quickly, just checking in on the chats. I saw that Larissa was asking if does Well offer any training courses, and I told her to keep checking back on Copiana.com because as we speak, we're working on connecting the two and providing that resource.
absolutely, yes. There's a whole host of resources on our events page as well that I would point you towards. Right now, we've got free trainings for anyone who's interested in becoming a Well AP. That's something that I haven't mentioned during this session today, but that's a well accredited professional, someone who has expertise in all things well and can work on well projects. Right now, I believe there are about 16,000 Well APs in the community, half of whom have earned the designation and half of whom are studying for and preparing for that exam. So there's a free training on how to become a Well AP, and there's also a whole bunch of videos and tutorials on each of these different products: the health safety rating, the well building standard, the well portfolio program. So whether you're looking to get started with one building or a collection of buildings, we all of us on the line would really be happy to put you in touch with the right people, the right resources, and get you started there. This slide just kind of shows the dashboard. So once you enroll in the program, you can customize the approach that you're going to take of these 22 features. They're all optional. So you can indicate which you're going to pursue. You can upload documentation right online. You can do essentially everything directly online. And I think that's where I'll leave it today. If you've got questions or want to learn more, I've got the web links up. I'll certainly start paying more attention to the chat now that I can see it dinging on my screen, and follow up with each of you. And you've got my contact information. But now I want to stop sharing my screen and turn it back over to Jackie.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Angela. And you brought such a really awesome framework to our efforts of community building and equity building, and making where we literally where we shelter in place. So even from a safe and secure perspective, you know, we leave our homes and we go to work, or we leave our homes and go to our grocery stores, and those are the places where we seek shelter, which is just basic elements to what we need to be resilient. So thank you so much, Angela. And next we are going to speak with Jackie Greene. She is such a passionate professional who doesn't know how to say no. She just helps you figure out how. Okay. And I really appreciate that quality in Jackie. She's a strong professional woman, as well as a very loving and caring mother who wants to see everyone doing well. She's a native Georgian and is doing her state proud. And for without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Jackie Greene.
Hey, Akiya, it's always such a pleasure to be with you. One of my dearest friends, I must say. Proud to call you one. Thank you, Angela, for that awesome presentation about well. I just think we're so thankful for you partnering with us on this webinar to bring not only introducing Copiana to a bunch of people, but also I really am very passionate about people, and people like places feeling good about the people that they're housing. So thank you for that. A little bit about me. I am from Atlanta. I went to the University of Georgia. I have 3 kids, an amazing husband, and I've lived in Atlanta all my life, if you can believe that. A very proud native of Atlanta. One of my favorite things about Copiana, I must say, is that how passionate each of our team members are about bringing fresh local produce and explaining to others why fresh local produce is very important. That is just such a passion of mine, and it is shared by all of our team members. The cool thing about Copiana is we bring the farm to you. So you get to see your farm on property. Your tenants get to watch it grow. They get to be involved with the farm. They get to see the ins and outs of the aeroponic farming. They get to meet our farmers and the cool harvest markets that we have. A little bit about sort of how we work. We basically develop, maintain, and create harvest markets and events surrounding our aeroponic tower farms. A little later in our little presentation, our head farmer and the guru of our greenhouse, Jeffrey Arner, is going to explain to you guys a little bit more about how aeroponics work. So, but what I'm going to do is explain to you kind of about how Copiana works. And Akiya knows all about this because she was one of our best customers last year. So yes. Love that. So if you have anything to interject, please feel free, my friend.
Okay.
So one of our favorite things is just setting the farms up, getting the initial install, getting everybody excited. And it's so funny to watch people, and Claire can attest to this, when you first come on property and you place the farms down, people are like, okay, what is that? And what is that alien looking thing on my property? So that's the cool thing. Then we share with everybody in about 3 or 4 weeks, you're actually going to have a harvest market on site. And y'all are not going to believe this, but we first started out when COVID first hit. I thought, oh my Lord, what is going to happen? So we took a big pivot and we pulled all our farms back on property, but we still gave produce out to those who wanted it at their buildings. But then our wonderful, most amazing clients donated over 500 pieces of produce to the City of Refuge, which was a wonderful day for Copiana. I mean, I could not be more thrilled. I love City of Refuge. Anyway, so that being said, then we actually started having harvest markets again on properties. And if you can believe it or not, we actually did drive-throughs where people were coming back to the buildings just to get their produce, just to have a way to re-interact and have that sense of community with their buildings. And I really feel like a lot of our property managers realized, hey, this may be a way to get our community back re-engaged. And I believe too, and I think Angela will agree with me, a big part of having a well and healthy building is building that sense of community. And Absolutely. We love helping buildings and properties and apartments and wherever corporations do that. So that's one thing that we love to promote too. Real quick, we do have harvest markets once a month, but every other month, if you desire, we will do an event for your property. One of my favorite ones, being a former owner of a juice bar, is our greenhouse will grow wheatgrass for us. And we will bring the wheatgrass shots over for everyone. We do cut it with a little cucumber and coconut water because not everybody likes the taste of wheatgrass. So, but we're getting everybody to learn. We're getting people to learn. And we'll do a healthy happy hour for you. And we'll just give out the wheatgrass shots. That's part of our promise to you that we're bringing well to your buildings.
Yes,
we also
Jackie's right there with the juicer, pumping out the juice, making sure everyone gets some. I've experienced that firsthand.
It's so fun. And then we also love getting involved with our local chefs, or if you have a cafe in your building, the chefs love nothing more than for us to say, okay, hey, what do you like this month? Are you doing a Mexican? Let us grow, some cilantro for you. And they have fresh cilantro. Or we'll bring in a local chef that's in a restaurant close to your building that can show you. A lot of people are like, when we grow Swiss chard, they're like, what is that? And how do I even do it? And we don't want you ever to walk away from a harvest and have no clue what to do with your produce. So we have recipe cards. We have, local chefs that will teach you how. Another thing, we like to partner with the gym in your facility. So we do social distancing workouts with yoga or personal trainers or whatever. Just anything, like Akiya said, I hate to say no, so I'll figure it out. I'll make it happen.
We'll figure it out. And I remember we had our sustainability farmers market fair at the airport, and we hired Chef Zoo. Actually, he came at cost. We just had to make sure we paid for the food, but he created all kinds of vegan options based off of our tower harvest. And that was amazing.
So thank you, Akiya. That was super fun. I do remember that. I also remember the airports going green. That was one of our first things we did together, and our friendship began that night. That was so fun. This is basically a slide showing you kind of a few of the places that we are in Atlanta. So you can see what our towers actually look like on property. When we grow indoors, we have to have the lights, which is fine. We can, customize those to go on and off when you like them on and off. But this is just basically showing you like where we are in spaces we are. Okay, now this is my favorite part, I must say. This is Jeffrey Arner, the guru, the amazing man. People brag on him all the time. We were talking about him the other day and just how smart he is. And we are so thankful to have him. This is an educational video. We partner with Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and this is an educational video that they asked us to do because they're having to give all virtual tours now. They used to do over 200 tours a day, which our towers were part of that tour, being out part of their outdoor farming experience. So I am going to let Jeffrey take it away from here.
Hey guys, my name's Jeffrey Arner and I'm the greenhouse manager at Copiana. Today, we're going to tell you a little bit about our aeroponic towers and show you how we can grow fresh produce here outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Copiana is an urban farming company that farms in these vertical towers that you can see here to my right. Our mission is to provide local and sustainable produce to apartments, businesses, and schools in the Atlanta area. So you probably heard me use the term aeroponic and you're wondering, what is it? All it is a type of growing system that we use in the tower where the roots aren't in dirt, they're actually suspended in the air. And the water from the basin gets pushed up through a pump where it finally meets the plant roots, providing them with the water and air that they need to grow.
Hi, my name is Paige and I work with Jeffrey in the greenhouse, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our towers. So some of the benefits of growing in the tower is that it uses 90% less water than traditional farming and 10% of the space of traditional farming. Because of that, we're able to grow in untraditional spaces like lobbies, rooftops, and restaurants. Also, we're able to grow just about anything in these towers. We can do lettuce, kale, arugula, we have tomatoes and peppers, and even strawberries at times. Really, the only things we can't grow are what we call tubers. An example of tubers would be potatoes or onions.
Thank you all for letting us in your classroom today and giving us an opportunity to teach you a little bit about what we do here at Copiana. We hope to see you on one of our farms very soon.
So that's so
Hey, guys.
exciting. I know you guys enjoyed that. We love showing that video, and shout out to a few of our clients that were on there. I think some of you guys are actually on the webinar right now, Crown Point, Promenade, and Terminus. Hi, guys. So going back to what Angela was speaking about, we believe that, I mean, we can't guarantee, but we believe that we could possibly help you guys with your WELL certification. In that we can, and one of the WELL nourishment concepts, you have to have availability to fruits and vegetables. And there's no better way than growing a farm on property, I think. And we can certainly do that. I loved what Angela said earlier, if you don't mind me stealing your thunder for a second, is having a healthy food option available, but let's make it easy. Let's don't make it hard, because you know when you go in the cafeteria sometimes, and I am guilty, and I see the potato chips, or I see I have to build a salad in the salad bar. Okay, well, I think I'm just going to go for the potato chips. So anyway, so what we want to do is make this as easy and exciting as possible. Therefore, when we come on property and we are going to give you the Swiss chard, or we're going to give you the kale, we want to show you how to use it. We want to show you how to make it. We want to show you what to do with it. Not only do we have the recipe cards, our amazing Claire, who's our event coordinator, does all of these really cool cooking demos. So she'll show you on site we did all these through the holidays. And we even did a few cocktails, I must say. They were really good. We did some sangrias. So we're not just all about, we got to have a little fun in there as well. But if you can see behind me, this is one of our towers that's actually right beside me. And this is all a bunch of mint that we've grown, which is just absolutely gorgeous. So I really feel that we could possibly help you guys achieve your nourishment side of your WELL certification.
And Jackie,
yes,
one really good thing is all of those pods come out, and then you break up the rock wool and you put it in pots on your deck or whatever, and you have a garden for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have things that, so it's like a twofer. It's like a twofer and threefer, it's like, it just keeps on giving, and it's just such a great thing. I didn't want to interrupt you too much, but that's just feedback.
Interrupt away. I love it. Interrupt away. Yes, it's really cool. We do grow in rock wool, and if I pulled one of these out, you can see that the roots are still intact. So my favorite thing is just especially when we have herbs, is just to set it on my counter, and I can just snip the herbs. And so I'm enjoying the lovely smell of the lavender or the basil, which our basil is off the chain, by the way. It's really good. But back to the WELL certification. Another thing that you may not take into consideration that I believe that Copiana could possibly bring to the table is access to nature and the mindfulness. When there's something about being around a garden or being around something that's growing that makes you feel at peace. So designing a really cool outdoor space or having a greenhouse on your property would just be the ultimate. We could actually have places that have the greenhouses, and then you have your own little sitting facility within the greenhouse. How cool would that be to have on property? Just saying.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's kind of two of the ways that we feel like we could help. Anyway, these are some points that Angela and I had talked about that we could possibly help you guys with in earning your certification. Obviously, we're a local food environment. We produce the food locally. Our nutrition education, we blog, we send out emails, we do the webinars. We did over the past summer, we did a bunch of lunch and learns where we brought in a nutritionist, and she talked about the value of leafy greens because we grow a lot of leafy greens. Jeffrey has introduced us to so many lettuces. I had no idea there were that many lettuces in the world, but there are. It's unbelievable. Also, food advertising, that's the same thing. It's just when we come on property, we're going to put up signs everywhere that tell what we're growing, how we're growing it. And then also, I mean, it's almost a guarantee that we're not going to have any artificial ingredients in our property. It's all grown locally.
And also being part of this community also supports, your engagement in being part of a community and access to information associated with building community. So this is just another aspect of helping spread the word on getting everyone out and building something better, and using WELL and Copiana as not only frameworks but catalysts to get you there.
Yes, absolutely. And I can't thank everybody enough for joining us today and trying to embark on this wellness journey that we're all hoping for. I know Angela, Akiya, and I are all three very passionate people about wellness and taking that to the next level all over the world and making everybody feel comfortable and getting back to quote unquote normal, but doing it in a healthy way. Let's be better than we were before, basically. And thank you guys. If you ever want to contact me or you want to find out anything about Copiana, please email me, call me. We'll figure it out. I don't say no.
No, you don't.
Now I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Akiya.
So thank you so much. And the chat has been just been so it's just been really exciting. I mean, just to hear everyone's feedback, people that we know, and so wait, hold on, you're sending it back to me, but Jackie, I think you have some splendid news for the participants, right?
Oh, thank you, Akiya. Almost forgot. How crazy is that? So if you decide today that you are going to partner with Angela and the Well Building Institute, Copiana is going to give you your first month of service for free. You will have your first month of service for free if you decide to go ahead and get your well certification with the Well Institute.
You get a tower. You get a tower. You get a tower.
That's right, Akiya.
How fun. Okay, so did we have time to say hello to Jeff?
I think he had to log his computer. I'm pretty sure he's having a little technical difficulty.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Listen, we'll have more. We'll have talks. We'll have talks from the greenhouse, and it's just gonna get better, you guys. And I'm so thankful that everyone jumped on, and I want to be mindful of everyone's time, but please keep looking out for us on Copiana.com. Sign up for the newsletter and email blasts. And thank you so much, Angela and Jim and everyone who helped us in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. And if does anyone have anything else to say, or do you want to let me look at the chats to see if we have any more questions. Someone says, is Copiana available in Minnesota, Jim?
Well, Jackie doesn't ever say no, so if you asked her, she'd say yes. I will tell you, not today, but we will be at some point. But if Tracy, if you would like to talk, I'd be happy to help you with that and see what we can do to try to help you out.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. Any more questions in the, let's see. She said, bummer. Look, we're working on that.
Tracy, give me a call or an email. I'll talk to you about it.
Awesome.
All right. I have a question that I can add.
Awesome.
What do you anticipate being lasting changes to the physical design of the workplace due to the COVID-19 pandemic and lessons learned from remote working?
Awesome. How about we send that one over to the expert, Angela?
Oh, great questions. Thank you. I don't think I let anybody know, but prior to my time at IWBI, I was actually an ergonomist. So it's always one of my favorite hobbies to like think about the future of work and think about the modification of the workplace and what's going to change. And from I think from a policy change, there's going to be way more flexibility. People are going to be working on site a few days a week, remotely a few days a week, and really paying attention to what it is that they're doing in the space that best suits them. Um, but I do think, like, staying on the nourishment theme, one of my favorite things about being able to work remotely for this long is just being able to have real food for lunch. So I do think that when you look at the types of amenities that are going to draw people back into the office, and when you think about why are people going to the office, right now we have folks going into the office to check the mail and to receive checks because we need that to keep going as an organization. But you start to hear things like people are coming in to get their produce or to get their to do their composting because they don't have composting available in their neighborhood at home, or to just utilize those amenity spaces. So I think that's going to be one of the really big lasting design changes. And then remote work, it teaches us we all need boundaries. We all need to know when to turn it off, when to turn it on. And it, for me, really highlights the importance of separation of home place and workplace, so that you can do each thing fully.
Thank you so much, Angela. And you're right, just the delineation between home space and workspace and engagements that are more intentional and authentic and less of just seeing each other every day. We're seeing each other because we want to see each other and to be with one another.
Yes. Reestablishing community to me is one of the most important things that we all need to focus on now, regardless of who we are and what we're doing. I truly believe that's super important. And also, Akiya, don't forget before we go, we want to see Angela's amazing commercial one more time.
Yes. Without further ado, let's play the commercial again and take us home. Thank you, everyone
Thank you, everybody.
Shared your time with us today.
Tainer, a businesswoman, and especially as a mother, I really love it when we're allowed to be out and together.
As an actor and director, I've always been a collaborative person.
I'm constantly inspired being around people and feeling their energy live, but that's been hard during COVID.
We all want to get back to enjoying restaurants, stores, hotels, stadiums, and feel safer in the places we love.
How can we feel more confident that the schools, child care centers, offices, and banks that we go to
are working to keep us safe?
Look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal.
I'm Dr. Richard Carmona, the 17th Surgeon General of the United States of America. This is the WELL Health Safety Seal from the International Well Building Institute, the global authority on healthy buildings.
When you see the WELL Health Safety Seal,
it means that your health and safety are top of mind when it comes to
cleaning and sanitizing procedures,
air and water quality management,
emergency preparedness programs,
and health services.
It means when you see the seal on the outside,
we can feel more confident going inside.
Because feeling safe should be a right for all, not a privilege for some.
So look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL seal.
Look for the WELL Health Safety Seal. Learn more about the WELL Health Safety rating at wellhealthsafety.com.
Bye-bye.